India, the cancer incidence rate is growing very high, as well as the mortality rate also very high, because we don't have a India specific diagnostic kit or diagnostic gene panel to identify the cancer at very early stage, as well as to monitor how the patient is responding to the treatment. Not available. So to have a diagnostic panel specific to Indian population, you need to know the genomic landscape of a particular population. Particularly for India, the cancer genome landscape is not available for any cancer even. So last year, IIT Madras, in collaboration with Karkinos Healthcare, we have developed a breast cancer specific genome. Exome data, we developed it, and we released in the name of Bharat Cancer Genome Atlas. It's called BCGA. So we did the exome sequencing of total of close to 1,000 people and released the database. It is the first database and it's an open access database. Anybody can access this database. So basically in this database, you will have a summary of the genomic landscape. Raw data is not available because of ethical guidelines. You are not supposed to put the raw data in the database. So anybody can access this database and try to see what kind of mutation or what kind of genetic changes is present in Indian population. They can look at that. As well as when we analyze the data, we found out there are unique mutations specific to Indian population. So for example, there's a gene called REQL-A. Other populations, for example, China, Poland, and Cuba, they identify the mutation in this particular gene called REQL-A. But in India, we identify a different mutation which is not reported to any population. And the frequency for other populations less than 1%, here we are seeing close to 3%. So that we see uniquely in Indian population. In addition to that, normally for breast cancer, they go for BRCA test. For any patient goes to the clinic, immediately the clinician will ask to go for a BRCA test. But whatever the data we have for the close to 1,000 exomes, what we did in the database, there we found out we see lot of non-BRCA mutation present in inherited, non-BRCA inherited mutant present in Indian population. That means the diagnostic test what they do today, for Indian people, we have to go for a multi-gene family, not just only for BRCA. So if you do only BRCA like what they do for other population, we miss out a lot of important specific genes which you see a mutation in Indian populations. So this database will help the clinician to identify what kind of changes you see in Indian population. Accordingly, they can design the strategy for the treatment. So which will give a better disease-free survival. For this coming World Cancer Day, that's going to be on February 4th, there we are going to again release the leukemia, whole genome of leukemia, colon cancer, as well as pancreatic cancer. And all these three cancers, there is no data so far is available for Indian population. And as you all know that, pancreatic cancer is one of the notorious cancer, and the mortality rate is very high when compared with other cancers, because there is no diagnostic panel is available to detect this cancer at a very early stage. Most of the pancreatic cancer you can detect only at the advanced stage. That is why the mortality rate is very high. So here we have sequenced that the Indian cancer patient, pancreatic cancer patient, try to identify what kind of genomic landscape and what are the specific mutations present in Indian population that will help us to develop a diagnostic panel for Indian population. Like pancreatic cancer, colon cancer, we identified some of the unique mutation and which will help for the development of diagnostic panel. As well as now we also did the leukemia, both pediatric as well as adult. Leukemia, there are multiple types. You have ALL, AML. We have sequenced as a whole genome, and we are going to release the database of these all the three cancer on the World Cancer Day, which is February 4th.